I will be sharing my experience about the dynamic integration of property registration and the land records and this latest system which we have conducted paperless online entrance examination and its integration with the off-campus online counseling. Even though IEEE is doing the online counseling since last so many years, but they are still doing on-campus online counseling. Doing the off-campus online counseling also, Haryana was the first state in the country, and for conducting this type of examination, again Haryana is the first state, and we have received from so many states the request for conducting such type of examinations. Regarding the property registration and the land records, though some of the southern states have started property registration computerization since last so many years, but there is a basic difference between the northern states administration of land resources and this registration process and in the southern states. In southern states, the property registration is handled by the Department of Finance and the land administration is handled by the Department of Revenue. But in the state of Haryana, Delhi, Punjab, Himachal, etc., both these functions are being handled by the same department, Department of Revenue, and a single officer who is the basically known as the Tehsildar. He is the sub-registrar as well as the CRO. Due to this integration, we could integrate dynamically both these applications. We started property registration in the year 2000. There were no funds available, but the state government find district Red Cross societies to fund this project by taking the loans from the banks. The project implementation was handed over to the district Red Cross societies, for which our Deputy Commissioner is the chairman of these district Red Cross societies. The district Red Cross society raised the funds from the banks after taking loans, and within 1 year of the implementation of this property registration information system, which we call Harris in Haryana, all their loans, they have not only repaid their loans, and there was a time when district Red Cross societies were not even able to pay the salaries of their employees. They were started getting the benefits of the registration. On every registration, some service charges were levied, and as on today, from this property registration itself, more than 20 crores have been collected as the service charges, and these service charges are being used for the social welfare schemes as well as. In addition to the enhancing the local initiatives of the property registration, these service charges are being utilized for providing help to poor, widows, physically handicapped persons in the districts. Once this property registration was fully computerized across all the tehsils and sub-tehsils, we started conversion of our legacy land record system into a platform on which our property registration was developed. So we migrated all the data, all patwaris were issued the orders, they came so as to reduce the frauds. Because what was happening, like in cities like Gurgaon, that I have sold a land today, again after 2 days, after taking the further from the patwari, some another person has sold the same land. What we did in integration, that once a person comes for the registration of a document, computer itself picks up his data ROR from the system, and once immediately the registration is done, as in the manual system there is a remark column is updated that this registry has been done at this time with this order. Immediately that remark goes to the land records data. So when another person who wants to sell the land or buy the land comes to the registrar office, that column is there, so he cannot now sell twice or thrice the land. That fraud has almost eliminated. After this integration was achieved, and in addition what we are providing, once the registered document is handed over to the buyer, immediately a mutation notice is also generated on which a date and time is written that your mutation will be done at particular this time, and that is handed over to him. Earlier there was a practice in the state which is known as Jalsa-e-Am, that Tehsildar was to go to the village and sanction the mutations. No, that practice has been abolished, and in Tehsil itself, on the basis of the all mutations generated, the sub-registrar enters the mutations, and immediately that is incorporated in our system. There are different kinds of mutations. This is only one kind of mutation which is based on the sale of the property. There are court cases, there are errors in the record, inheritance cases, different kind of mutations which can be directly entered at the Tehsil level. After this integration was achieved, the question was raised that what is the security? So we studied different kind of formats, and we incorporated two-dimensional barcoding system in our ROR. In most of the barcode system, some parameters were being taken on the basis of which this 2D or single D barcode was generated. But what we did, we generated a hash technique, and complete ROR converted into the hash technique, and a unique number is generated. That unique number is converted into the 2D barcode. So now it can be verified, complete ROR can be verified using this two-dimensional barcode. This barcode technique was Mr. Subhash Pani, who is the Union Secretary Rural Development. He visited one of our actual site and spent 2 hours there. And in the national conference, he appreciated this effort and asked other even states to incorporate such type of security feature in that. But the problem which we are facing, that there are some administrative reforms are required, some legal reforms are required, which are still pending at the level of particular level of the administration. Until these administrative reforms, like we have been requesting that once there is a 2D barcode generated ROR with a unique ID number of each ROR, then there should be of signing of a ROR by the Patwari. But that is under the consideration of the government, that has not yet been approved. In principle, state government has agreed to bring such a reform, but that is still pending. Because until that type of facility or administrative reform is done, we can provide the access to the ROR for just access purposes. Until there is a government order, that cannot be used for getting the loan or for verification by the financial institutions. So this mechanism is required. We have 7081 villages, and we have completed